How many blessings can you say yes to? All right? That moment which says, I can't say that 4 times. That impulse that says no to our blessings. It's too much. It's going to ask something of me. I have to actually engage in something a little bit differently than I thought I was going to have to. And yet, when we do, it was fun, yes? It was fun to step in. So, today we're focusing on the blessing of the hands. And I want everyone to just take a moment and look at your hands. You know, how much time do you actually spend paying attention to all that your hands actually do for you in the course of your day? And if you experience any sort of arthritis, you know what I'm talking about, because it makes you really aware of just how often you use your hands. And everything that we are about in Unity is about bringing consciousness to our life. It is about awakening to the present moment. Because what we know and believe is that the present moment is truly all that there is. There's just this moment. And so in this moment, are we standing in the blessings that we have? And are we paying attention to the things like our hands, which we take so for granted? I've been struggling with plantar fasciitis. I know, it's amazing. The number of people I've said that to, and I swear 75% of the people I say that to says, oh, I have that too. I'm like, is it like the secret affliction that nobody talks about? I had never heard of it before, and yet everybody I talk to says, oh yeah, I have that too. I'm like, what? But I'm very aware of my feet. I'm very aware of how I can take my feet for granted. All that they do for me. The way they move me through the world. And what our hands do for us is that they are the place that activates it's the activation of our heart space. We often hear, my thoughts and prayers are with you. And that is beautiful. But without the hands, those thoughts and prayers just, we call it metaphysal. Right? Those thoughts and prayers just metaphysal. And there's not a whole lot that actually happens there. And it actually takes energy, it takes something to be able to actually activate things with our hands. But it has to arise from the heart space. So, we're going to celebrate one of our own today. And part of what has been so beautiful is this idea that Catherine has stepped into and that so many of us here in this community have stepped into, which is seeking mastery. Not just sitting back on what we already know, because some of us know a lot, right? But not just sitting back, but being willing to continually step in and step out and be in that uncomfortable place where I have to say bless, 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 bless 4 times in the time that it was only written for 1. And I'm going to do that and have fun with it. It made me so proud, is probably the wrong word. It just inspired me, as a better way to say what I was feeling in my heart. For the new member class last week, we had about 18 people take the class. 5 or 6 of them are actually new people who are really interested in stepping in. And the rest were people, some of them have been here for 35 years. That's amazing to me. And they were engaged, and they were interested, and they were connected, and they were involved, and they were curious. Even after having been in this teaching for 35 years, or 20 years, or 10 years, whatever it was, they were all willing to show up to say, what's new? What's new? What is there for me to understand in a new way? And that, to me, is what it's all about. That is the whole point. Life is a process that is about the revelation of our Christ Buddha-ness. And we are never done. We are always evolving and always growing and always changing. And yet, let's be honest, how many of us like to kind of sit back on, I'm raising my hand, sit back on some of the things that are just super comfortable? I do it. I know that already. I don't need to pay more attention to that. I already got that part figured out. When I had that diagnosis in my 20s, and I was told that I would live in chronic pain for the rest of my life, and that I should just reconcile myself to that. One of the things that I got very clear about as I started to unwind, I've shared that what rose up in me was a no. I mean, it was just a big no. That is not the truth of my life. I wasn't in this teaching yet, but it was a big no. And as I've unspooled that, one of the things that really became clear for me is that the thing that that doctor knew, top of his field, the thing that that doctor knew was like this mole on my skin compared to all the knowledge that is out there in the world. And he thought that that mole was the whole world. Now, we do that too. We think that the knowledge we have, the wisdom that we have gathered over the ages, that is the sum total of what is available to us. And the invitation continually is that we get to be made new. We get to step into places and spaces that are uncomfortable. And what we believe in Unity is that how we do that is through service. How we step out is through our interaction with the divine as other people. That is the place where we get to grow into our leading edge. That is the place where our rough edges get rounded. That is the place where we get to grow and expand in ways that we could never otherwise possibly imagine. I found this quote: "Don't just be who you are and what you are. Move, evolve, change, grow, and become better each day." I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's kind of like Unity in like a nutshell. Don't just sit on your laurels. Don't just sit on all the fabulousness that is your life. There is even more there to be discovered. So someone who has been a living embodiment of that is our very own Katharine Graham. She has stepped into an environment, a world where she was invited and is continually invited every single day she spends with those little preschoolers and toddlers to discover something new about herself, to grow in a new way, and to bring her gifts, her talents, to these little powerful, beautiful points of light in the world. So I'm going to turn this over to Cindy Acker, who is representing the Montessori International, right? So come on up here, Cindy. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Come on up, Melissa. I sit on the board of the International Montessori Council, and one of the things that the IMC does is the Center for Guided Montessori Studies, which is the training program for teachers. And so we want to invite Katharine up.
This microphone. I wonder if they need another microphone up there.
So, Katharine, I want to read you something that was given to me by your professors, and it is the words that Dr. Montessori spoke to a set of her graduates. "It is difficult for me to express my sentiment and thanks. We have been together several months, and we have become conscious of a bond uniting us, which has grown stronger and which I believe will never break. I am a pilgrim, and you are pilgrims toward an idea. I voyage, and you voyage, and we unite ourselves together, almost as spiritual pilgrims, to work for the triumph of a principle which does not concern ourselves, but the child for whom we are working and wish to work. You and I have been, as it were, seduced by something attractive and deep in the child, not only in those beautiful individual creatures whom we all love, but also in an almost symbolic being, one who holds in himself a secret we can never wholly fathom, and one which we will therefore always be attracted to. We begin by protecting the child, and now we realize that it is we who need protecting. We began with methods of education and culture for the child, and we end by acknowledging that the child is our teacher. Not a teacher who gives us culture, but one who can reveal to us, as no other, our own nature and possibilities. Therefore, we are drawn towards the child as individuals, as members of society, and for the good of the human race as a whole. The child is the authority, and the adult must make himself in accord with this authority if he wishes to better his conditions. We have been studying the means toward a harmony between the child and the adult, and we have learned many deep things, but there are many, many more to be learned. Some people who graduate will go back to their country or to their home to teach. Others will do more. Others will go on studying the child. That is why we are all united in this sphere and can never be separated. This course has not been primarily a course for the study of culture. I myself speak a foreign language you do not understand, and you, young and old, of all nations, races, religions, some of you still seeking a place in the world and others already with honored names, you all sit side by side together and without surprise. We have come together in this way because we have touched a point which is common to all cultures, nations, societies, and religions, the child. From Maria Montessori. But that's not it. Because we also have a message from Kitty Bravo. And Kitty Bravo is the head of the Center for Guided Montessori Studies.
Hello, Catherine, and hello to your family, friends, and colleagues who've gathered together to celebrate you today. Congratulations from all of us at CGMS. We are so happy that you have achieved this great accomplishment of receiving your Montessori teacher education credential. I know you're probably really glad to be done. It was a lot of work, and I appreciate your dedication. But you're probably really not done, because the best of teachers are committed to lifelong learning and making the seeking of mastery a guiding principle. Mastery is a journey, not a destination. It involves more than just continuous work towards improvement. It's also about finding your passion. And when you search for what touches your heart and moves your spirit, that passion will propel you forward. And I hope that that passion will bring you many new adventures, new opportunities to grow and to serve and make a difference. It's really all about making a difference. And I'm really glad that you had this time with us at CGMS, and I hope that you will continue teaching, working with children and families for many, many years. The world needs Montessori graduates, and to have Montessori graduates, we need teachers. We need you. So thank you for your work, and enjoy this day, and please continue and enjoy the journey. Thanks.
So we present to you Montessori graduate Catherine Graham.
So we're going to bless her. And I found this from Philippians, which I just thought was perfect. This is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight. And so we have a blessing that we do. So as a community, I'm going to invite you to extend your hands and your hearts as we say together, Catherine, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And so it is. You want to say something? Let me get you a microphone. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You know, Maria Montessori believed that the children are the peacemakers and the change makers of the world. And it is my honor every day to step into that classroom and to be with those little ones. And I am truly amazed at how in line Unity and Montessori is. And that has been the greatest discovery for me through this whole process. So I'm honored. Thank you.
That's fun, isn't it? To celebrate somebody who's just doing the work, right? Who's out there. So I am going to invite the choir up now. I think, yes, Cindy, am I inviting them up now? And I need my little script here. Sorry, everybody. So I know that Catherine is a symbol of what so many in our community are. And so I thought that today, as we were honoring her, that we would open that up and we would extend that blessing of the hands to anyone who is in a helping profession, right? Anyone who understands themselves to be someone who is a healer, who is a therapist, who is a teacher or a nurse or a doctor or an EMT or... This is self-selective, everyone, okay? So if you understand yourself to be in that healing realm, we're going to bless everyone who is in those professions today. So we're blessing those who are here in our community, and we're blessing those who are out in the world, who we may or may not know, but whose hands make it possible for us to do something. I'm thinking of the fire department and those hands that help to clear away all of that fire hazard for our community. That is part of what yes, can you feel that? So I invite us to just take a breath. Jeremy, can I just get a little something under me here to help? So today we bless all of those of the helping professions. We give thanks for all those whose activity benefits and blesses humanity. Those who tend our children and cultivate our well-being. Therapists and teachers, paramedics and social workers, nurses, doctors, child care providers, and all whose hands are dedicated to the well-being and healing of others. I'm going to invite anyone who identifies in this world realm to please stand so that we as a community can honor and thank you. And we have a gift for you, so the ushers are going to come forward. And you're invited to take one and pass the basket. It's just a token of our appreciation for who you are. We can give some to the choir too, they're gonna need it. They all ended up on this side, but they'll make their way over to this side, no worry. And this is an opportunity to just think of all the ways that those in those professions have touched your life. Those doctors and those nurses and those firefighters. When I was 8, I got my finger stuck in an umbrella stand. And those firefighters showed up with their axes out because they thought they heard child smothering instead of child suffering. But they cut me loose because they cared, right? So we bless all those who serve with love, no matter if the task be great or small, an adventure or a dull routine, a kindness done to one or meant for all. Head, heart, and hand are all blessed. And then let us just take a moment to bless our own life's work and give thanks for the health and strength that allow us to live in service to the needs of ourselves, our families, our neighborhoods, and our communities. How blessed we are as we willingly reach out our hands to friends, co-workers, or new acquaintances with love and compassion.
Be old.
Our fabulous choir, Dr. Cindy Acker. So don't just be who you are and what you are. Move, evolve, change, grow, and become better each day. This is what we're moving through life as. And if anybody wants, as you're leaving, there is more of the gifts which you are free to take as you leave, and you can share them with people you know, and you can share them with yourself, because I'm going to invite all of us into that space, that place, where our hands are in service to the world, and that we understand that about ourselves, that we are in service to the world. So how we here at Unity in Marin have been invited to step into the new is through the Unity in Marin logo. Remember our survey? And I got so many wonderful suggestions. And from those suggestions, we have fine-tuned the two logos. So the ushers are going to come forward right now, and they're going to start distributing them. So this is the original logo from over 20 years ago is on the bottom. The national branding is on the top. And when we, as a community, agreed to shift to the national branding, the community was very clear that they wanted to also have something from the dove and the sun from the original logo be worked in so that we weren't losing the thing that makes Unity in Marin, Unity in Marin. That process got very stalled for COVID and a number of reasons. So here we are today. These are the two logos based on the community feedback that I got and the changes that people suggested. So I called it Logo 1 and Logo A, so that we're, right? One is not better than the other, just different. Logo 1 was the original Logo 1. There was a big call to add the mountains into logo number 1. That the hills of Novato were an important part of who we were, and to try to incorporate into that. So that's what's been changed. That's the only thing that has been changed in logo 1. The hills of Novato have been added to the sun, and then the sun has been gradiated. So that was another thing that people said, that they wanted there to be not just a block of color, but for there to be a gradiated, so the color has been gradiated. The logo A was logo number 2, which was in the survey the one that had the most yeses after logo number 1. And there was a call that it was too busy. And somebody had the brilliant suggestion of making some changes, which we did, to make it less busy. And then there was a call for that gradiated color to still be part of logo A. So on the surveys, and if you're watching at home, there's a QR code up right now so that you can, there's an online form where you can do this too. Before you start filling this out though, I want us to take it into meditation. Because we do everything from the place of not our mind, but we do it from our heart. Our mind's first impulse is to criticize. Yes? To look for what's wrong. To look for all the things we don't like about something. And what I want to invite us into is to a heart-centered space. And I want us to think about what we just experienced. I want us to think about the music of the choir. I want us to open our hearts to that place where we were celebrating and lifting Catherine. I want us to get to that place where we were honoring all in our community who serve and who help. with their hands, that they're in there making a difference in a very tactile way. I want you to think about our vision, that we are here to be a place of awakening, spiritual awakening to our own divine potential. That we are a community committed to inclusivity and connectivity and authenticity. And that we are here to be in service and to care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. So let's just sit in that space for a moment where that which Unity in Marin is, at the root of its root, at the heart of its heart, and just allow that to arise in your awareness. The points of connection, the love, the support, the challenges, all the ways that we learn and grow together here at Unity in Marin. And let's just rest in that space, in the silence for a moment, as we allow ourselves to be that place that is this vision, spiritually awakening to our divine potential in service to ourselves, each other, and the natural world. And so it is from this space, this place, that we give such gratitude and appreciation for the choir, for their voices, for Cindy's creative, artistic, yes, for Jeremy, his beautiful playing, to Catherine Graham, and to all those teachers and assistant teachers at Hamilton Montessori, to those beautiful children that show up every day, to each other in all the ways that we serve, and for this beautiful community, this place that anchors love and light and evolving spiritual growth. How grateful I am for this magnificent community of love. And so it is. Amen. So from this place, I invite you to take a look at the survey and jot down your notes. You can pass that in when the basket comes around during the offering. And if you want to do it online later and sit with it some more, you can do that as well. There's no rush. I'm going to invite the choir to come on. Oh, I have an affirmation. Let's do our affirmation. My hands and heart give and receive blessings of love. Can we know this together? My hands and heart give and receive blessings of love. Okay, I messed that up. Let's try that again. My heart and hands give and receive blessings of love. And so it is. Amen.